the hot ones are the ones that cheat, and also
The
they
super
don't
hot ones.
value as much. Yeah. Whereas like if you go a little below you and it's like a nice personality, then they fucking worship you.
That's what's funny. Girls do that in the beginning, like in the early to mid 20s, and sometimes like late 20s. They want that alpha, like super hot guy, just to like to fuck the shit out of them, go all crazy, and then they get heartbroken so many times, and then their biology's like, you need to have kids, and it's like, well, this one guy who was a little bit more beta, who's like not as good looking, who's like maybe like a 7 out of 10. He's got a good job. He can take care of the kids. Like
Kids.
he was always there. He won't leave. He's desperate for me, so yeah, maybe. And then she marries him, and then after like 10 years or 5 years, she's like, this guy's such a pussy, like fuck. And then she cheats or like divorces or leaves.
And this has got to be one of the most honest conversations you'll ever hear on the topic of alpha seed, beta need, right? Which is a common theme when it comes to female nature, right? And these two hosts, well, one was a host, one was a guest. The girl was very, very, very honest in what she had to say about female nature. She literally said that most women prefer the hot ones, but the hot ones always cheat. The hot ones always leave. Basically, the Chad, right? The Chad is always going to cheat on you, and he's always going to leave you. However, if you go a little bit under you, right? What have I kept telling you guys? What do I keep telling you guys? What have I told you guys forever and ever? I'm like, especially these girls, right? Like, how do I land the guy I want? How do I stop being lonely? I'm like, girl, lower your standards just a bit. How many times have you guys heard me say that? So you heard this girl, a woman, like this chick, kudos to her. She has enough self-awareness to recognize that. She said, when you lower your standards just a bit, oh my goodness, you'll get a good guy who will worship you. He'll worship you. And it's like, hello, that is what I've been trying to get across to every female out there who is complaining about the fact they're in situationships, complaining about the fact that, their man keeps cheating on him. Oh, he left me. I'm a single mom now. Like, girl, the reason why is because your standards are way too high. You gotta lower it a bit. You gotta lower a bit. Stop Chad chasing and just lower your standards a bit, because when you do that, now all of a sudden you open yourself up to a pool, like not even a pool, but like a nation of dating options that are already in your life. Okay, that are already in your friend zone, where you can pick one of those dudes to be with. Right? And a lot of those guys are pretty good looking guys, right? Believe it or not. It's like they're not bad looking guys. It's just like you don't see them as attractive because they simped out to you a little bit. They might have been a little too much of a spineless jellyfish around you. It might have agreed with you a little too often. So you don't see them as attractive when, by all means, just by society standards, they are. A lot of them are even above attractive, but you don't see them as that because they were actually a decent human being towards you. Whereas you want to be treated like crap by the Chad. So this girl said it herself. She said, you know what? When you lower your standards just a bit, you will get guys who will worship you. Maybe you won't have that Chad, right? Not going to have the 6'4", 225-pound, college quarterback. Not going to get that guy, but you will get a pretty good guy, right? A pretty good guy that literally like throw out the red carpet for you and give you everything you could have wanted and more in life. Right? And then the Asian guy, the host, right? What did he say? He said pretty much he mimicked exactly what I always say too. It's like, yeah, but once you give the girl that, right, 5-10 years down the line, she starts to lose interest in you because she starts to see you as a pussy. So even he recognized that, right? He recognizes that. And the girl was speechless. She couldn't say anything because she knows that's true. Because she is a rational female, right? Because most females will not admit that. Most females, like especially modern females, would have been like, no, if he really loves her and she loves him, there's no reason why she would leave. It's like, bullshit, dude. You're not living in reality. The fact is, most of these girls will leave once you pussy out on her, right? Once you pussy out on her, she's out the door. Okay, especially for these damaged females, right? These damaged females who are Chad chasers, and we covered a lot of them on my channel. We cover them all the time. These damaged females who are Chad chasers, those are the worst ones to get into these relationships with, right? Because these are what a lot of these red pill guys call alpha widows. That's not my term, that's their term, right? I'm just using it. Like, I have to like give them credit when I go like alpha widow, because these guys like throw a hissy fit and like get their panties all in a bunch, like, 33 secrets, that's mine, that's mine, that's my stuff, that's my stuff. Just like a woman, right? That's mine, he's stealing my stuff. So yeah, okay, that's not my term. It's part of the red pill community, right? So whatever, right? But anyway, a lot of these chicks will become the widow of an alpha, right? And what that basically means is she's going to continue fantasizing about the Chad as she's married to the Brad, right? As she's married to the beta male, she's going to continue to fantasize about the alpha male. And this is why I tell you guys, just stay away from damaged women to begin with. Right? These women are damaged for a reason. We call them the DG for a reason. I'm not just giving them that name to be hurtful or to, slander them. I mean, I'm just giving them that name because they are. They are. Their psychological process is damaged. That's why these girls stay on the carousel well beyond their 20s. This is why you see a lot of these women like into their middle ages complaining in these like little rants, talking about how there are no good men left and, oh, I'm so alone, nobody wants me, and all this other garbage. When it's like, what about those 5,000 guys that you put in your friend zone? None of those guys wanted to be with you? So really, you're this lonely peasant? Nobody wants you? When you had 5,000 betas in your friend zone you could have chose from? No, nobody wants me. What she really means is that Chad doesn't want her. So I love this little clip of the host and this chick, and thank God she was honest, because you rarely ever see that, especially with most modern women today. They're completely delusional and never willing to be honest or reasonable in a debate. They're just constantly like, oh, me, that's not the reason, you're wrong. I don't care about your facts and statistics, mister. I don't care you have all these statistics. Those don't matter. My feelings is what matter. So what if 95% of women have done that? I didn't do that because the world revolves around me. It's all about me. At least this chick was not a narcissist, right? I mean, definitely not a narcissist, because she has self-awareness. She was aware of the fact that, like, yeah, we chase the hot guys, but those are the guys that cheat. But the guys that won't cheat on you are the guys who are just not as hot as him. They'll worship you. Completely right. Completely right. So we're going to crack into one more clip before we close up tonight, and let's just roll into it.
So we're talking like per sock, like $500 per sock? Because that could be cool. We can make that work. It's still fucking weird, but I'm down for like $500 a sock.
Just to switch up gears a bit, so this chick was talking about OnlyFans, and apparently some massive simp offered to buy her stinky, sweaty sock for $500. And not even the pair, just one of her stinky, smelly socks for $500. And even she admitted that's weird, that's creepy, but she was like, I'll sell it to you for $500. You want to buy my smelly sock for $500 that I walked around in all day? $500. And it's so sad that guys are so desperate. Guys are such incels that they're willing to sink to that level to do that, right? It's funny because recently on my YouTube channel, I uploaded like a couple of photos of me and my girl, right? We were where were we? I think we were in Vegas. We were about to go to dinner, right? So my girl like held out her camera. She was like, take a photo. I hate taking photos, by the way. I don't like taking selfies, but she's like, all right, take a photo. And I'm like, I always have a smirk on my face when I take these because I don't want to take them. So I was like, yeah, I always have like a weird expression. But anyway, we took this photo. It was just me and her. She's a good looking girl. So I uploaded it to my social media. And automatically, whenever I upload a photo with like a hot chick who's I'm usually dating, right? Like automatically you get all these incels. And I know they're incels. I'll explain how I know. they immediately, their comment is simp, simp, simp. And it's like, dude, this is just a photo of me and my girl standing in front of the Venetian. How is this simping? Like, simp, simp. You know, and really when guys do that, they're self-projecting, right? They're self-projecting. Because being on a date with a hot girl doesn't make you a simp. It's the way you are in that relationship, right? And just to be clear, there is no way you can get a hot girl by being a simp, right? You cannot get a girl who is above an 8 in looks or even lower than an 8 in looks. You can't get a girl who's even the least bit cute, right? Like, say, a 7. You can't even get a girl who's a 7, much less beyond a 7, 8, 9, or 10. Definitely not a 10, by being a simp. The way you get those girls is by demonstrating you are not a simp, but obviously a strong man, right? A guy on a path and purpose, a guy who has status, a guy who has social value, a guy who is a leader of men. We call that being an alpha male, whatever you want to call it, right? That is how you get those high quality girls, those hot girls, right? You do not get them by being a simp. So whenever I see guys like, simp, simp, I automatically know it's a self-projection. I'm like, this is the type of guy who's an incel, doesn't go out, right? Is addicted to online porn, has an OnlyFans account, and is offering to buy this like girl socks for $500. Not even for the pair. It's $500 each. That is the type of guy who like will comment on a video, on a photo, not just mine, but any other photo like that, and go simp, right? Because I remember I got interviewed by John Sonmez from Bulldog Mindset. So follow John on IG, and I think he posted a photo with his girl, who's a cute girl, right? Good looking girl, and under his comments too, like not a lot, but like 1 or 2 incels will usually like find their way there and be like simp, simp, and it's like, dude, do you think that he got that girl by being a simp? No. Do you think I got my girl by being